Hey, welcome to Ruby Gold. If this is your first time here, I am so glad you found us. And if you are back, you already know what we do. Let's get into it. So I want to start with a story. There was a woman in her mid-30s, working a stable job, earning decent money, who looked up one day and realized something that genuinely shook her. She had been earning for over 10 years, and she had almost nothing to show for it. Not because she was irresponsible, not because she was spending recklessly, but because nobody, not her parents, not her school, not any of the institutions that were supposed to prepare her for adult life, had ever sat her down and said, "Here is how money actually works. Here is what to do with what you earn. Here is how to make sure that a decade from now, you are not starting from the exact same place you are standing today." She had been earning money for 10 years, but she had never been taught how to build with it. And that gap between earning and building is where most women live their entire financial lives. Today, we are closing that gap. These are the 5 money rules that changed everything for her, and that will change everything for you. Stay with me for the full video, because rule number 5 is the one that most people never hear, and it is the most important one of all. Rule number 1, pay yourself first, every single time, without exception. Most women manage their money in the same order. Bills first, expenses next, other people's needs somewhere in the middle. And whatever is left, if anything is left, goes to savings. And that approach, however logical it feels, is the reason most women never build meaningful savings, no matter how much they earn. Because here is the truth. There will always be something to spend the money that was supposed to be saved. Always. A bill you forgot about, or an emergency, or something that felt urgent, or something someone needed, something that seemed more immediately important than the abstract future version of yourself. Who would have really benefited from that money? The only way to consistently save money is to save it before you have the chance to spend it. The moment your income arrives, before bills, before expenses, before anything else, a percentage goes directly to you, not to your bills, not to your household, not to anyone else's needs, to you. Start with 10% if you can, 5% if 10 feels impossible, even 2% if that is what you can manage right now. The amount matters less than the habit. Because a woman who consistently saves 2% of everything she earns will always be in a stronger financial position than a woman who intends to save 30%, but never quite gets around to it. Pay yourself first every single time without exception. Rule number 2, understand the difference between an asset and a liability. Because most things we are told about asset are actually liabilities. Let me explain this simply. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. That is it. That is it. That is the whole distinction. And once you understand it, you start looking at every financial decision in your life completely differently. That car you bought, unless it is generating income for you, it is a liability. It costs you insurance, fuel, maintenance, depreciation. Every single month, it takes money out of your pocket. That house you were told was an investment? If you are living in it and paying a mortgage, it is a liability until it is fully paid off or generating rental income. Because every month, it takes more money out of your pocket than it puts in. Now, this does not mean you should not have a car or a home. It means you should understand what you are buying. And it means you should be actively, intentionally, consistently working to acquire things that actually put money back into your pocket. Investments that pay dividends, properties that generate rental income, businesses that earn while you sleep, skills that increase your earning potential year on year. These are assets. And a woman who is serious about building wealth is always working to increase her assets and decrease her liabilities. Start asking yourself about every significant purchase, is this putting money into my pocket or taking money out of it? The answer to that question, applied consistently over years, is the difference between surviving financially and thriving financially. Rule number 3, your income has a ceiling. Your investments do not. This is the rule that changed everything. For the woman whose story I told at the beginning, she had spent 10 years earning money. Good money. But she had been trading her time for that money. And time is the one resource that cannot be scaled. There are only 24 hours in a day. You can only work so many of them. And no matter how hard you work or how many hours you put in, your earning potential through work alone has a ceiling. But investments do not sleep. They do not take weekends. They do not have limits on how much they can grow. They work while you are sleeping, while you are resting, while you are living the life you are working so hard to afford. This is called passive income. And it is the most important financial concept most women were never taught. Now, here is what I want to be honest about. Building passive income takes time. It takes consistent effort up front. It is not instant. And anyone who tells you there is a quick shortcut is not telling you the truth. But starting early, even with small amounts, is the single most powerful financial decision a woman can make because of something called compound interest. Compound interest means that the money you invest earns returns, and then those returns earn returns, and then those returns earn returns, and the longer it goes on, the faster it grows. A woman who invests $100 a month, starting at 25, will have significantly more money at 65 than a woman who invests $500 a month starting at 45. Not because she invested more money, but because time is the most valuable ingredient in any investment. Start now, even small, even imperfect. Just start. Rule number 4. Debt is not created equal, and understanding the difference could save you years of financial struggle. There are two kinds of debt. There is debt that works against you, and there is debt that can work for you. Debt that works against you is what most people think of when they hear the word debt. High-interest credit cards, consumer loans, buy now, pay later schemes, borrowing to buy things that go down in value or give you no financial return. This kind of debt is one of the most significant wealth destroyers in the lives of women today, because the interest compounds just like investment returns do, except instead of your money growing, your debt grows. And it grows fast. The average credit card interest rate means that if you only make minimum payments on a significant balance, you could end up paying back 2 or 3 times what you originally borrowed. 2 or 3 times. That is not borrowing, that is a trap. But there is another kind of debt. Debt that is used to acquire assets, to buy property that will generate income, to fund education that will increase your earning power, to invest in a business with a real and researched plan for return. This kind of debt, used wisely and strategically, can actually accelerate wealth building rather than destroy it. The rule is simple, but it requires honesty. Before you take on any debt, ask yourself one question. Is this debt helping me acquire something that will put more money into my pocket than it costs me? If the answer is yes, it might be strategic debt worth considering. If the answer is no, it is consumer debt that will cost you far more than the thing you are buying is worth. Know the difference. And protect yourself from the kind of debt that grows faster than your ability to pay it back. And rule number 5, the one most people never talk about, your network determines your net worth. I told you this one was different because every other rule on this list is about what you do with your money. This one is about who you surround yourself with while you are doing it. Here is something that research has shown consistently. Your income tends to average out to the income of the 5 people you spend the most time with, not because of some mystical law of attraction, but because of something very practical. The people around you shape your normal. If everyone you know is struggling financially, struggling feels normal. The conversations you have are about surviving. The decisions you see modeled are about managing scarcity. And without even realizing it, your own financial ceiling adjusts to match the environment you are living in. But if you are surrounded by women who are building, who are investing, who are starting businesses, who are having conversations about assets and growth and long-term wealth, that becomes your normal. And your financial decisions start to reflect the environment you are in. This does not mean abandoning the people you love. It means being intentional about also surrounding yourself with people who are doing the things you want to do financially. Find the communities, the networks, the rooms where financial literacy is the default conversation. Read the books. The women you admire financially are reading. Listen to the podcasts. Follow the accounts. Because here is the most honest financial truth I can give you. You can know every money rule in the world, but if the environment you live in normalizes financial struggle, the rules will stay in your head instead of changing your life. Change your environment, even a little, even gradually, and watch what happens to your financial decisions. So let me bring all 5 together for you. Rule 1, pay yourself first, every single time, without exception. Rule 2, know the difference between an asset and a liability, and work consistently to acquire more of one and fewer of the other. Rule 3, your income has a ceiling, your investments do not. Start building passive income now, even small, just start. Rule 4, not all debt is equal. Understand the difference between debt that destroys wealth and debt that can build it. And Rule 5, your network determines your net worth. Change your environment even gradually and watch your financial decisions change with it. These are not complicated rules. They are not things that require a finance degree or a large salary or any kind of privilege to understand and apply. They are the rules that the woman from the beginning of this video, the one who had been earning for 10 years and had almost nothing to show for it, applied over the next 5 years. And the last time I heard about her, she had paid off her consumer debt completely. She had 3 income streams. She had investments that were growing while she slept. And for the first time in her adult life, she felt like money was something she understood. Not something that was happening to her, but something she was actively, intentionally, powerfully directing. That is available to you too, starting today. Starting with Rule 1, pay yourself first. Follow Ruby Gold for daily stories and content that builds you financially, emotionally, and in every other way. Subscribe and turn on notifications and drop a comment below. Which of the 5 rules are you starting with today? Walk bold, live gold.